Hello, this is Del Chatterson in Montreal, and I wanted to remind you about my three novels in the Dale Hunter series of crime thrillers so that you can read them all before novel number 4 comes out, soon to be released to the publisher, soon released to the market thereafter, and we'll get advanced reader review copies out soon, I hope. It's called Bad Boys in Boston, and I'll talk about that. But first, let me remind you what the first 3 novels were about. Dale Hunter is an entrepreneur in the computer business with international connections from Taiwan to Montreal to Boston to New York to Las Vegas. And he started a small business, which has grown to multi-billion-dollar business. He's doing very well for himself, but he gets involved or under attack from the mafia and gangsters of Montreal and Taiwan and New York and Boston and Las Vegas by the time he's finished. So there's a bit of exposure. It's written about adventures in the 1980s. It's based a little bit on my true story. This sign, TTX Computer Products, was the real name of my company back in the 1980s. In the book, it's not me, it's Dale Hunter, and the company is called 3D Computer Products. And the first novel, No Easy Money, is about Dale Hunter getting caught up in the protection racket. And to get out of that, he ends up getting involved with other mafia figures who then take advantage of him for loan sharking, but one thing leads to another, and he ends up with doing business with better business partners and replacing the mafia with legitimate financing. The second novel, Simply the Best, Dale's wife gets involved in a kidnapping attempt and a murder plot against Dale and his family. The same gangsters have come back to get revenge for him extricating himself from novel number 2. And in novel number 3, it's a little bit more business oriented. Dale trying to survive the consolidation and decline of the personal computer market in the late 1980s. And here, however, he gets involved with the money laundering and some other corruption in the business. In all 3 novels, he's rescued from crime and corruption with his new friend that he meets called Frank the Fixer. He's introduced to Frank by a crooked cop who is trying to avoid stopping the gangsters coming after Dale. Frank the Fixer, his real name is Faisal Mohammed Abu, and he came to Canada as a 17-year-old refugee from Somalia. He ended up succeeding street life in Montreal, and he subsequently became a private investigator to kind of be legitimized as a vigilante for justice, and a friend of Dale Hunter, helping him protect him from the gangsters and save him from death and disaster. The fourth novel, which is called Bad Boys in Boston, and moves to Boston from Montreal, but gives some background there. The crime is Frank's niece has been kidnapped into the sex trade in Boston and appears on porn videos online. So it's about human trafficking, the sex trade, with also some technical information about hacking and cybersecurity. So it has a lot of the same elements, the same heroes, the same characters, but it moves forward 30 years into the 2019 period. Those are the first 3 novels, and the 4th one coming soon. Dale Hunter crime fiction with the entrepreneur and his buddy Frank the Fixer as heroes, fighting crime and corruption in the computer business in particular, but around Montreal, New York, Boston, and Taiwan. So if that's interesting and you'd like to know more, visit my website, delvinchatterson.com. And you can also look up my business books, which are not fiction, but are also some dramatic stories where you can learn more about business and less about crime, hopefully. Thanks for listening. Bye for now. Del Chatterson in Montreal.